Hello NBA fans, every day we have news about the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm a Lakers fan and I'm counting on you to subscribe to the channel and leave your. It's clear that LeBron James wants to win, and for that to happen, the Lakers will need to make moves. Logically, any NBA team will ask for Austin Reaves to be able to negotiate with the Lakers. NBA rumors, Lakers make a trade with the Miami Heat, bringing in a new star in exchange for Austin Reaves. If one thing is certain around the NBA, it's that the Los Angeles Lakers need to improve. However, there have been questions about what the front office plans to do after LeBron James' recent comments. James' comments are somewhat telling, as the Lakers might not be looking to pair him with the most talent because they don't want to give up assets. Frankly, it might not be the worst idea either, as the Lakers don't have to do everything for a 40-year-old. On the other hand, one could make a strong argument that creating the best possible roster with James would still make sense, given that he's clearly a top 10 to 15 player in the NBA. It remains uncertain if the Lakers will change their ways anytime in the near future, but Sports Illustrated recently proposed a decent trade idea for them to pursue to do just that. The deal would include the Atlanta Hawks and Miami Heat for Bam Adebayo. Hawks receive Maxi Kleber. Heat receive Austin Reaves, Gabe Vincent, Dalton Knecht, and a top 3 protected 20311 st round pick, via LAL. Lakers receive Bam Adebayo. They get one of the elite defenders in the NBA and someone to pair with Doncic, even when James retires. The center position is suddenly a strength for Los Angeles and they improve their team and chances of making a run this season, SI wrote. Miami lands a potential young star. Landing Adebayo would be a home run for the Los Angeles Lakers, whether it be for the short or long term. However, for that trade to go through, the Miami Heat would have to agree to it. According to Sports Illustrated's reasoning, it could be due to them getting Reaves in return and hoping that he becomes a potential all-star player. This is a way to free up future space by getting ahead and off of his contract early. Adebayo is a really good player, but if he does not get back to his level of play from when the Heat were in the finals in 2023, that is not going to be a good deal to have on the books. Miami gets Reaves, who looks like a potential all-star, and Vincent, who can give them depth on the bench and is plenty familiar with how they want to play. Knecht can give them shooting off the bench, and having another draft asset is not a bad move for when another star player wants to be moved, they added. Underscore 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 underscore. Would Miami cut ties with Adebayo? The one issue with hoping that the Los Angeles Lakers' young guard, Reaves, becomes an all-star caliber player is the fact that they'd be moving on from an all-star player already with Adebayo. Are they really going to move Bam? This move would make them worse this season, and Reaves and Tyler Herro don't really seem like a great fit defensively together, SI wrote. It wouldn't be too surprising to see the Lakers move on from someone like Reaves in a deal, and it's possible that the Heat would trade Adebayo, but this type of deal might not make too much sense. It'd be a great one for the Lakers, but a bad one for the Heat. ESPN analyst questions whether LeBron James will get his retirement right amid rising Lakers tensions. Rumors of LeBron James' future with the LA Lakers have heated up in recent days. Despite the all-time great opting into his contract with the team, some still believe it's a possibility he could be traded, mainly because he said he's closely monitoring the team's willingness to be a championship contender. Based on their free agency additions, they seemingly aren't. Amid the rising tension and the possibility of a trade, ESPN analyst Scott Van Pelt took the time to remind fans of an ongoing phenomenon. That phenomenon is the idea that the greatest players of all time rarely get their retirement timing correct. When unpacked, the phenomenon is quite fascinating. Van Pelt first recalled other NBA legends similar to LeBron in the GOAT conversation and pointed this out. How many true greats get the dismount right? Van Pelt questioned on SV Pod. where the end is just sort of a glide to a stop and gracefully exit the stage. It just mostly doesn't happen, and it's amazing how often. It's an interesting point to make. And it's not one that's only bound to NBA greats. Tom Brady had a losing record and a first-round loss in the final season of his career. Additionally, his marriage went belly up because he couldn't walk away from the NFL. Van Pelt then brought up how Jordan and Shaquille O'Neal's careers ended, and that nobody remembers them for the way they went out. People don't think of Michael Jordan in a Wizards uniform. That's where he ended his run, as a Wizard. I don't even know who Shaquille O'Neal's last team was. I don't know. There was Phoenix, there was Cleveland, there was Boston. I have absolutely no idea who the last team was, Van Pelt stated. To answer the trivia, Shaq ended his career as a member of the Boston Celtics. He ended his run playing for 4 teams in 5 seasons. Which feels wrong, given that he's perhaps the most dominant force to ever play in the league. By the end, he was passed around like food at a Thanksgiving dinner. Later on, Van Pelt talked about how Luka Doncic is clearly the Lakers guy, and that LeBron not being offered an extension is a bit of a sign of where things stand. So, Luka's the guy for the Lakers moving forward. I think everyone understands that. And the Lakers, by the way, have done plenty for LeBron. They drafted your son, Van Pelt said. But to reach a place where an all-time great is seen as like, we're going to reach a point where you opt in and that's it, man. It all led SVP to question whether or not LeBron would get his retirement right. After all, he's qualified for awards every season in his career, and has never seen a dip in production. But those other GOATs did by the end. Van Pelt then said that it just goes to show that no one gets to dictate the terms of how their career ends, not even LeBron. If he did have that ability, he would be on a longer, more secure deal. But instead, he's opting in yearly. By the end of his monologue, SVP wanted to remind LeBron of a common saying. I always try to remember the old line, leave the party 15 minutes early rather than 15 minutes late. Man, most people hang out one drink too many, and then they gotta call you an Uber. LeBron's future with the Lakers has certainly been in doubt in recent days. Reportedly, the Mavericks, Clippers, Cavaliers, and Warriors have all called the team to inquire about his price. Which is ultimately going to be the big question. How much will a team trade for a 40-year-old on a $50 million contract? We tend to think quite a bit. LeBron could walk away from the game any year now. But he could also immediately help any of those teams win a championship. It's just a matter of whether those teams are willing to take the risk and push some chips into the center of the table, or if the Lakers are actually willing to move on from him. Bradley Beal gifts Lakers golden opportunity to sign ideal Luka Doncic complement. Malcolm Brogdon would be a dream fit on a team-friendly contract. The Los Angeles Lakers have kept something of a low profile during the 2025 period of free agency. Chaos has certainly become a theme for what's transpired within the organization, but DeAndre Ayton and Jake LaRavia are currently the only players whom the Lakers have signed. Unfortunately for those hoping to see Bradley Beal join that list, he signed with a Lakers rival. The silver lining, the path to an ideal free agent has thus been cleared. After weeks of speculation, Beal has finally agreed to a buyout with the Phoenix Suns. It was a decision that seemed destined to impact a long list of contenders hoping to explore what the 3-time All-Star still has left in the tank. According to Shams Charania of ESPN, Beal will sign with the LA Clippers after completing his buyout with the Suns. Breaking, 3-time NBA All-Star Bradley Beal has agreed to a contract buyout with the Phoenix Suns and plans to join the Los Angeles Clippers on a 2-year, $11 million deal with a player option after clearing waivers. With Beal's buyout and signing in the works, the veteran guards who still populate the free agent market are expected to be signed in short order. The Clippers can still sign one more player to a veteran minimum deal. Beal's commitment to LA, upon clearing waivers, is expected to spark movement in the rest of the veteran guard market for the likes of Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, Ben Simmons, and Malcolm Brogdon. Thankfully for the Lakers, there's one free agent who looks the part of the perfect complement to Luka Doncic, Malcolm Brogdon. Lakers can find perfect Luka Doncic partner in Malcolm Brogdon. Brogdon, 32, is one of the most captivating names on the open market. He's a 9-year veteran who has been named 6th Man of the Year and Rookie of the Year, led the NBA in free throw percentage, and amassed 43 appearances and 17 starts in a postseason setting. More importantly, Brogdon is a productive player with commendable defensive instincts and the ability to provide value both on and away from the ball. Injuries have hindered Brogdon's availability over the past 2 seasons, which is truthfully the only reason he may sign for either the minimum or whatever a team has left of its mid-level exception. When healthy, however, he's a career 38.8% three-point shooter who can create for himself and others. Brogdon is also a quality postseason performer who can be trusted to step up and provide effective production off the bench, a quality the Lakers were devoid of in 2024-25. Los Angeles's bench players ranked number 29 in the NBA in points per game during the 2024-25 regular season. They were also dead last in assists per contest, which signals a need for players who can not only create offense for themselves, but those around them. Considering Brogdon boasts career averages of 18.9 points and 5.8 assists per 36 minutes, and that he exceeded both figures over the past 2 seasons, he'd check an essential box. Not only would Brogdon be able to elevate the second unit, but his style of play and skill set would make him an ideal complement to Doncic, as well as LeBron James and Austin Reaves. He's an excellent catch-and-shoot marksman who can work without the ball as easily as he can alleviate the scoring and playmaking burdens. With Beal off the market and the Lakers in dire need of bench production, signing Brogdon should become a top priority in Los Angeles. Deciding factor in LeBron James staying put may revolve around key Lakers connection. Bronny James could be the driving force to having the Los Angeles Lakers and LeBron James continuing to work together. The flames surrounding LeBron James' burning desire to lead the Los Angeles Lakers are quickly being cooled. One overlooked aspect of why it would not make sense for the all-time great to leave Los Angeles right now is Bronny James. Dan Woik and Joe Vardon of The Athletic teamed up on Wednesday morning to challenge some of the existing narratives around the fractures between James and the Lakers. There were plenty of dismissals regarding recent topics. The duo made it clear there was no trade request in the works, and there was certainly no buyout coming for LeBron and Los Angeles. The expectation that Woik and Vardon made clear was for James to be at training camp for the Lakers. One piece of intel that could have easily been lost in the shuffle came towards the end of the write-up. Bronny is thriving at NBA Summer League, which could make him a key piece for the Lakers in 2025-26. With that development, would LeBron not want to see this situation play out? Bronny James' growth makes it easier for LeBron James to stay. Woik and Vardon pointed back to a quote from last season when the older James called the achievement of playing with his son the top one of his legendary career. The Lakers duo could take things one step further this season. Bronny has shown encouraging signs of growth with every game of the Summer League experience. The time for the younger James to deliver is now, and the Lakers guard certainly knows what needs to be done for him to earn a spot in the 2025-26 rotation. In the Lakers' last matchup against the Los Angeles Clippers, Bronny caught everyone's attention. The 20-year-old guard finished the game with 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists, shooting 6 of 10 from the field and 3 of 5 from beyond the arc. The Clippers won the game 67-58, but the encouraging performance from James could not be ignored. The defense is indeed what will get Bronny on the court, but being able to pair that with adequate offense will keep him there. Being a pest on the defense end, they just want me to come out and be myself. Woik and Vardon wrote, one of the biggest reasons for James to stay played well on the court. If Bronny can continue to prove why the young guard not only belongs on an NBA team, but as a part of the rotation, whatever decisions LeBron may have left to make will grow easier. Quite frankly, they may become an afterthought altogether. It's one thing to have Bronny check into a game just to get the father-son spectacle out of the way. It's a whole different situation to have both James on the court as a nightly expectation. The latter would be a tough experience to pass on for LeBron. Former champion hopes Bronny James follows one star's playstyle and studies more of LeBron's games. Bronny James continues to be a focal point in this year's Summer League. The Lakers guard has delivered several noteworthy moments, including effectively containing top draft pick Cooper Flagg and reaching double-digit scoring against the Los Angeles Clippers. These performances have sparked optimism among fans who see clear improvement in his game. There's also belief from the analyst that he could earn a more significant role with the Los Angeles Lakers next season. Jeff Teague reveals what is still missing from Bronny's performance, aside from the confidence. Former NBA champion Jeff Teague recently shared his assessment of Bronny's development. Firstly, he pointed to a lack of confidence as the primary factor separating him from other young players like Cooper Flagg. Teague then added his comments. He acknowledges Bronny James' potential, particularly his pace and athleticism. However, he believes these physical tools require more aggressive application on the court. I just want him to be so aggressive, like we just see the confidence. Because you see, like Dylan Harper and him, they got 16. But, he is in his second year and everybody knows this is really made for him. Everybody came to see Bronny, Teague explained. Why Bronny James should watch more LeBron James footage. The former guard suggests Bronny should study more of his father LeBron's game footage, specifically focusing on crossover moves that became a trademark of the Lakers star. Teague also sees similarities between Bronny's skill set and former All-Star point guard John Wall, who built his reputation on speed and explosive transition plays. I wonder why he doesn't get downhill, like watching your pops so much, just doing that high crossover, getting downhill. Because he's so fast and athletic. He kind of runs choppy, though. Can take baby steps. Just watching your pops, Teague said. Jeff Teague wants Bronny James to play like John Wall. The veteran believes Bronny should be producing highlight reel plays similar to Wall's prime years with the Washington Wizards. He should be having some of the John Wall highlights, like pushing the ball and one-man break, because he is fast and athletic. We should see him going full court and crossover dunk, he added.